Hey everyone, this is Chris with potstocks.com. Thanks for joining us on our second weekly webcast. It's January 10th, 2015, and we've got a lot to talk about this week. Today we'll cover the future for potstocks.com, discuss a whole lot of stock news, look at some strong charts for next week, and then share some opportunities for cannabis startups. So let's get started. So we sat down this week and we think we figured out the way forward for potstocks.com. For a lot of businesses like ours, it can be pretty tempting to get into the world of stock promotion because we do have a dialogue with these businesses, and in many ways that can be mutually beneficial. But ultimately, we've struggled with the ethics of that idea because it's just really impossible to remain objective when you're taking money from someone you're reporting on. So we're just not going to do that. What you can expect from us is that we'll continue on as an independent, objective source of news and analysis, and we just won't be engaging in the business of stock promotion as a rule. So when we discuss businesses we like, it's because we came to that conclusion without a check being written, and I think we owe our followers that, and we hope you'll keep coming back. All that being said, we also have to make money. So we've taken some steps to offer some new products and services for sale. That's really some new territory for us. So this week we partnered with Amazon to create the Green Investor Store, which you can find in the top nav bar of the site. We handpicked some really great products for people that subscribe and visit routinely. And that's really a combination of young professionals that are just starting to invest, really active day traders, and then people who are just interested in the cannabis and cannabis business. We have some different sections in there, including a lot of luxury gifts and accessories, mostly men's stuff. We have some really excellent like cufflinks and ties and saddleback leather products and awesome stuff like that. Though we do have some things for women as well. We also have a whole section devoted to books and movies. You'll find a lot of investment books, entrepreneurship books, and of course a lot of cannabis books as well. I want to highlight Chris Guillebeau's $100 Startup in that section. It's the book we use to get potstocks.com going, and we highly recommend it. We also have a selection of personal hydroponics and cannabis lifestyle stuff like vaporizers and glassware, things like that. Also, through tax season, we're offering TurboTax directly through the store. So go check it out, and if you have any products you'd like to see there, just let us know. But enough about that. Let's jump into some pot stocks news. Overall, the sector pulled back a bit from the highs of the previous week. My sense is that it's more of a bear trap within a larger bullish trend. Major winners this week were FSPM, up almost 200%. WDHR had a nice bottom bounce of 114%. GBLX had a good gap up Monday morning, now back to where it was about the start of the week. And AMMJ had a good steady climb of 5% this week. MCIG's spinoff VTCQ started trading on January 6th under the ticker symbol VTCQ. They have different products with different marketing strategies, but since January 6th, VTCQ has lost about 50% of its value. That's probably because they filed a 10Q that states outright it needs to raise a little under $500,000, or they might just have to abandon ship. So that's some scary stuff. GDSM had a name change to Greenleaf Innovations. They announced negotiations for a storefront in Waterville, Maine, and we actually have some people up that way, so we'll try to get some eyes on when they're up and running. NVLX, that's NVLX, has a name and ticker change, and they're now PMCB, Pharmacyte Biotech Incorporated. Our speculative play from last week, SIPC, published some news. They announced a line of electrodeless plasma lighting for indoor growing to start shipping and sales this month. So if you have any idea what those are, or if they're any good, please let us know. TerraTech news and insider stock sales. TerraTech just announced news about organic certification for their produce, which is cool, but sort of unrelated to any news. I think most investors want to hear from them. A lot of people are concerned about their financials right now, and I suspect they're probably looking for a big private investment at this point to continue operations. Their business model is basically a big gamble, one that could really pay off if we get federal legalization. But in the meantime, they have all these expensive greenhouses selling produce. So regardless of their business plan, though, it's going to keep looking bad for investors if insiders keep selling shares. Throughout December, there were several insider sales, and investors are understandably not excited about that. In the private investment world, Peter Thiel's investment firm, Founders Fund, made a $7 million investment into Privateer Holdings this week. Privateer is a private holding company that recently acquired Leafly.com and the Marley Natural brand, and is continuing to make acquisitions in the cannabis space. Link to the article below. Here's a weird excerpt from the TechCrunch article, though. It said the last major institution that needs to fall before federal legalization of marijuana is Wall Street. Says Evan Nissen, Executive Director of National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws, New Jersey. That's Normal, New Jersey. I actually disagree with this. I think Wall Street is on board 100%. Wall Street doesn't care if you're selling coffee or cannabis or hair plugs, so long as people are buying it. And the bottom line is there's absolutely global demand for cannabis, and you better believe Wall Street wants in on that. I think the most major institution that has play in legalization is the FDA. If they're and they're federally tasked with making recommendations on drug classifications. And I think it's actually still currently under review since June of 2014. But we've provided links to all the articles we've discussed below the video, as well as a link to our free subscription newsletter. All right, let's move on to charts for this week. Only a few jumped out at us. As always, if you see a good looking chart, let us know and we'll vet it and blast it out to our followers. CANV has some strong upper price action. It tested $3 this week, and I think it can definitely push into that range again this week. It closed a bit tighter than I'd like, but if you look at that long upper shadow on the last day, you can see it has a lot of bullish pull. CANL currently trading at $1.25 a share, up from 95 cents last week. You can see here higher highs and higher lows, and even a gap up on Friday. And there's always a chance of a pullback, but I think it looks really good going into next week. AMMJ showing strong support at 71 cents. I like this one on steady accumulation. It basically completely resisted bearish movement last week, so that's good stuff. And then our last one is SPRWF, possible bullish breakaway pattern. The price action on the last day isn't exactly perfect, but it's close enough to draw some attention. For more on charts and patterns, check out the 2015 Advanced Trading Guide on sale through our website. And congrats to everyone who's taken advantage of some of the good alerts we've shared recently. And thanks to our followers for keeping us updated on your favorites. If you see a strong chart or some news that we don't catch, please tweet us or let us know on Facebook. And I'd like to close tonight by highlighting some opportunities for startups in the sector. First, Canopy Boulder is a startup accelerator out of Boulder, Colorado, and they're currently accepting applications for cannabis startups, particularly focused on ancillary businesses. If accepted, you can receive $20,000 seed funding and spend 3 months in Boulder, Colorado building your startup and working with a mentor. It's a great program. Go check them out. We've also got Cannafundr. It's a platform for both businesses and investors to meet, interact, and discuss funding opportunities. They're also hosting the Marijuana Investor Summit on April 20th, which will be the largest investor summit in the history of the industry. That's Cannafundr.com, Cannafundr.com. And every startup needs great advertisement, and I want to draw your attention to the incredible banner advertisement just below this webcast. It's got links to just about everything we do at potstocks.com, and it's called the Inception banner. That was made by a friend of potstocks.com, Chris DeSanto. He's a freelance web developer and entrepreneur, and he can make advertisements just like that for your business. You can find him on Twitter at WhyWeTrance, and on the social network that pays you for being cool, friendsforcash.com. Special shout out this week to Potstock Radio. You can find them at potstockradio.com. Tomorrow night they'll be interviewing the SPRWF Supreme Pharmaceuticals CEO. And shout out to Gooeybuds Radio at CushEliteMarketing.com. And for traders, go sign up with Technical420.com. This month they're launching with premium features just for cannabis investors. Thanks to everyone in the Potstocks Nation for joining us. Stay in the green.